Hey everybody, welcome back. Another discussion about Dark Dimension 3. I did this giant spreadsheet to talk about how to be to plan and be efficient and all those kind of things. And then the next step for that analysis is to look at who your first team is going to be and who your global team is going to be. And that's kind of what I'm going to focus on in this video. I went over some of the general aspects of the spreadsheet, and I really want to kind of hone down on how I'm going to pick my team at this point. There's a lot of different ways to go about it. I'm going to show you kind of what is happening in Dark Dimension 3 at the moment. And I don't necessarily think you should follow exact teams that are in there. Some of the people that are in there are just, they want to be in there early. They want to get done as quick as they can. Some people are spending a boatload. And I don't necessarily... look, if you want to do that with your money, cool. But for me personally, I look at what I'm going to get out of that. And I'm not... look, those things are going to be nice when I get them, but it's not something I have to have now. It's not a new character that I need to, compete in the top of arena. I don't believe that a 5 red star Ultimus is going to, make me some war hero or something like that. The 7 red star, depending what the 24 are, if there's a couple in there, it's like, that's going to really just be like, I'm going to sit there and not wanting to open that orb, just knowing it's going to be like one of the two that, they're going to stick Ravager, Stitcher, and I don't even know who else. Somebody who you just don't want, in there. Aim Infector, and it's going to be, those are going to be the 2 troll picks, and that's who I'm going to end up getting or something. So anyway, I want to go through the team setup and how I'm gonna review the spreadsheet a little bit. But first, I want to show you what's going on in Dark Dimension 3 real quick to kind of illustrate how I've done some of this.
Bring me WolverThor!
Okay, so Dark Dimension 3, you can see this person from Japan, or that has Japan in it, is 68% done, which to me is just bonkers. If you go through here, you can kind of see most the other people are at 12, and I think some 6s, and there's only, and look, Big Roy Awesome's in here. He's a free-to-play person, so it shows you if you focus correctly, you can definitely do these things. So then there's only 30 people who've beaten the first node. So I didn't necessarily want to show that, but the part that I want to show here is if you go into Dark Dimension, what you can see is if you click this little tab here with the 3 bars, you can see the top damage per for that specific node. So you can see, and I'm not sure exactly how much damage this node has. It's 8.4. So when you see these 8.4s, I'm taking these as one-shots. It means they went in there, they beat it once. So it's like, okay. That I think is a good potential team to use. You can see Fate's Fury in there. He's got some solid tunes. Some other folks, I'm not sure exactly how to say the names, but it looks like one person almost had a one-shot. So anyway, you go through here and you start looking at these teams, and you want to look at the ones that do a ton of damage. The 6 million plus. And when I was originally looking at this, it was like 3 million plus. You wanted to make sure you were doing those type of teams. You can see a lot of Phoenixes in here, a few Ultrons, a lot of Hellas, some Scientist Supremes. I think one Yo-Yo. You see plenty of Sinisters here up at the top. You got a Shuri, a Minerva, another Minerva. So, there's a wide range of teams to go in here with. And then you could just kind of go through here and see. And you continue to scroll through and just kind of get an idea of who's using it. And again, I want to say that don't necessarily use the exact team that you see here unless you see it as a one-shot. Okay, because if somebody's down here at like, 5 million is not too bad for actually Big Roy. Looks like he's doing pretty solid there. So I want to find one, it looks like Fates did some good damage there again. 2 9's not too bad. I'd be a little bit hesitant to, jump on the teams at the bottom. And then you see at this 4th node, this is where our friend from Japan should typically be the only one in there. 5 million's pretty good. So when you're looking at the global, 12 million's great. And, for this global where it's, he's got 4 tech characters in there, which is crazy. Now, again, I would not necessarily use him as an example because I would have to guess this person is spending a boatload of money to get these characters, all these tech characters, to that level. So, and I'm guessing it's because he really wants to get done first. And I'm pretty sure he's I'm not sure exactly where he's at, but he's, pretty far along in this thing. He's well into Cosmic here, not quite into City yet. So anyway, but this is a good way to keep track of things, of people who are in here and how far along they are. So having said that, let's look at the spreadsheet real quick. Okay, so for those of you who didn't see this the other day, I have this gigantic spreadsheet that's got all the characters in the game, global, and broken down into global, cosmic, city. And then I have different game modes that I had in here that I kind of gave them a general ranking and then conditional formatted. So I could kind of see, like, I don't want to pick somebody. Ideally, if I'm investing in T14 mats, they're going to help me in all aspects of the game if possible. There's some other ones like a Captain America who I didn't have very highly rated there, but I drug over as a red, letting me know that that's a character that maybe could work in Dark Dimension 3 with the defense ups and, blocking and the taunts. So anyway, from this, I basically found and filled in this chart so that all these numbers going across all over the place here in the Biomutant Mystic skill tech categories. And then I pulled these down to kind of see, and I'm going to zoom in quite a bit here now so you can see it a bit better. So you can kind of see, how many of these tunes I've got at the bottoms to help me kind of filter along, who I want to bring in so that I can properly farm my mini uniques. So from there, I've got this pick, and where it's like, and then I color coded it where it's blues global, purples cosmic, and gray city. And so I could kind of start deciding what I wanted to do here to get tunes in. So for me, I've already got Black Bolt, Hela, and Ultron done. So I've got 3, so I need 2 more. So what I'm looking at here, and I want to think about, well, who can I get in there that's going to help me synergy-wise, and who can I get in there as far as mats go? So, I start thinking about this, and I'm like, all right, and on top of that, Global's next. So ideally, I could bring someone who's already going to help me once I get past node 4, but I also got to remember it could take me a week or 2 to get past those first 4 nodes, depending what my time and ability to get through it is. So I've got to weigh these different things. Currently, I'm close on Phoenix and Mr. Sinister getting to T14, which I think both of those are good characters to have in there based on the damage we're seeing. And both would be allowed to be used on the next set of nodes as a global. So I could have Black Bolt, Phoenix, Mr. Sinister, Hela, and Ultron for that first, 4 nodes? Yeah, 4 nodes. And I'm like, okay, that's not too bad. You think about that Black Bolt, he's just great no matter what. Hela, again, she's pretty solid, and Ultron's great as well. The one concern I have here is that Hela might not have as many defensive debuffs to get down, and if for some reason, you've got the Greg on board with the Ultron bots as well, so it's like, I don't know there. But she's also going to be good in Cosmic, in my opinion. So then you've got Mr. Sinister and Phoenix, so now you're talking about 3 different summoners on the same team, but I really like Mr. Sinister because he can clone someone from the other team and bring him over. So, you know what? And honestly, like, if you lose Greg, I'm kind of like, all right, whatever. But I guess you could technically never really lose him because as soon as he dies, he insta comes back. But ultimately, what's going to happen is you're going to have the inability for Ultron to drop some bots and potentially for Mr. Sinister to clone. But I think it's a pretty solid start. I'm looking that I know Mr. Sinister seems to be really good throughout. Hela's going to be needed for Cosmic, so I'm not upset by that. And you know what? If I'm really struggling, hopefully at some point I can get, and granted Fury's another summoner, but Science is Supreme. Only reason I'm not jumping on her right away is because I need all this tech. So I'd love to bring in Minerva first, but again, tech. And then I've got Global next, so I'm like, if I can get through those first 4 nodes, get Scientist Supreme done, get ready for Global, and then have that time to still build up Minerva before I get to Cosmic, I'm like, okay, I think I'm sitting okay. So right now for those first 4 nodes, I'm really thinking, obviously I've got the 3, I'm thinking about Phoenix and Mr. Sinister. Again, I could have some summon, some room problems, but I don't mind that if I can get the AI to really focus in on the clones more than my characters. So I'm leaning towards that for the time being, for those first 5 nodes. And then if I'm focused on pure global, again, I've got 2 already with Phoenix and Mr. Sinister, and then I've got Ultron already done. The other ones I could look at here, I've currently got Fury and Scientist Supreme as the ones I'm leaning towards. I'd love to bring in Falcon or Shuri, but again, that's more tech. And I'm looking at Minerva and Star-Lord for Cosmic, which I'll talk about those in another video. But, so it's like, okay, well, who else are my options if I don't want to do another tech with Scientist Supreme? You've got all those S.H.I.E.L.D. minions. I don't love bringing those in. I know S.H.I.E.L.D. Trooper doesn't need any mini uniques. But, and I saw Big Roy using them, and some damage was pretty decent there. The fact that he can constantly attack, it's not a bad option. Another Jugs, I'm just kind of like, that helps me get some Mystics on there, but I'm not really a big fan of that. And then it's the mutants, I could look at Storm Colossus or Magneto as well. But then I start stacking up on my mutants, and I'm kind of like, I don't know. And then in the bio, you've got Captain America and Yo-Yo. And personally, I'm already looking at 4 bios at some point, so I'm like, kind of want to stay away from those 2. The mutants, not bad. It's kind of like, I don't know, I like the Fury buff spread, and I like the Scientist Supreme debuffs. As far as synergy goes, I really like those 2 more, even though I could have some summon problems. So, I don't know, that's kind of where I'm at on this thing. Again, so going in to start, Ultron, Hela, Black Bolt, and then Phoenix and Mr. Sinister. And some of that has to do with the fact that I'm already this far away from getting them to start. And then immediately after that, I'm going to start working on Fury for sure. And I'm thinking probably Scientist Supreme. So that way, once I get to those global nodes, I can start hitting them hard. And then after that, again, I'll get into the Cosmic another time once I can kind of digest some of the stuff. So anyway, let me know if this is helping you guys. What are you thinking about as far as those 2 specific teams? I think I'm pretty set on that right now. I've already, kind of brought up and favorited my Sinister and my Phoenix. And I unless something crazy changes in the next few days, I think I'm going to be pretty hard committed to that. But the global, I could see myself wavering a little bit away from Scientist Supreme just because of the tech. But gosh, she's so good. And the revive, and maybe Fury with the summons. I don't know. It's tough to say, but I think that's where I'm going to go. So anyway, appreciate you guys stopping by. Hammer down on that like button. Click the notification bell. All the goodness. Share with your alliance mates. And hope to see you again soon. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.